Walmart store closures are a warning sign of a retail apocalypse with other chains also facing threat, expert says. The multi-million dollar corporation has closed 9 stores so far this year, which can be a warning sign for other retail giants. First and foremost, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahakwadash, double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and other bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the 144,000, the elect men of the nation of Israel that's teaching in truth, sincerity, and diligence for the sake of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. Yeah, from a chain of bank closures to a chain of Walmart closures is nothing more but the Lord drying up the abundance of resources here in this society. You see, and soon people is going to be faced with the reality of going without, man. You see, the abundance of resources that's given to you now is not going to always be readily available in the days to come. Soon, these resources are going to start to run dry. You see, it says Walmarts are closing across the country, and retail experts says the cuts are signals of a bleak future for shoppers. Yeah, you see? And one thing that's going to bring forth that bleak future is these storehouses suddenly being found empty, because one thing that brings people comfort and stability is Walmarts and different, pharmacies and different grocery stores having resources for these people to buy. But soon, once these things pretty much go away and they start to dry up, the reaction people is going to have to losing these things is ultimately going into chaos, man. Friends fighting against each other like enemies, neighbors fighting against each other, family members turning on each other. And this is the reality that's soon to play out here in this society. You see, from the lack of resources, real quick, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. You see, these things is ultimately going to happen all of a sudden, where you're going to look up and your neighborhood Walmarts is going to be shut down. It's going to start lacking, resources that was once there. Your inflation is going to suddenly turn to hyperinflation. You're going to have supply and demand, and this ultimately going to lead people to going into chaos, man, because they're not going to have access to these resources. You see, it says the trumpet should give a sound, which when every man hear it, they should be suddenly afraid. You see, it's going to bring fear. When you actually faced with the reality of not having food or water, food to eat and water to drink, it's going to strike fear in a lot of people. And when that fear come upon people, people is going to panic buy. They're going to rush down to local Walmarts, local grocery stores. You're going to have chaos in the parking lots, long lines outside the store, chaos inside the store, people ravishing, breaking into these stores, looking for food, robbing people for food. This is the reality that's going to suddenly unfold here in this society, man. Yeah, it says, and the trumpet should give a sound, which when every man hear it, they should be suddenly afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. See? And this is the reaction that's going to spark. You see, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. You see, that fear is going to ultimately come upon people, man. It says the springs and the fountains should stand still, and in 3 hours they should not run. Yeah, and it's pretty much this truth. But from, these different store closures, even to the bank closures, that's the Lord drying up the resources here in this society, man. And people is going to respond to that. And the response is going to be chaos, man. Real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse. Let's see. Let me start at verse 18. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And one thing that's ultimately going to cause this is resources drying up, because these resources is what keeps these people sane, man. You already living amongst lunatics, people that's ready to snap, everybody walking on edge. And the main thing that keeps them sane and keeps them in the spirit of being disarmed is you having food to eat, water to drink, entertainment. You see, different distractions. But once those things is ultimately taken away, you're going to see an American in his true nature, man. As the sneaker commercials say, you're not yourself when you're hungry. You see? These people is going to turn into brute beasts once the Lord take away that plate, man. You see, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Yeah, it's Pride Month, you know. So the Lord, man, America operate in such a spirit that's very hateful in the eyes of the Lord. So the Lord is going to cause great things to unfold in this society that's going to break great troubles, great tribulations to the people that dwell here, man, and that dwell in that Babylonian spirit. You see, it says a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Yeah, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see, you lacking resources, man. And the main thing is that food and water. People not having access to eat. You see, it's going to start out with that nigga killing his family, and then he going to look at your house and wonder what you got in your house, man. You see, it's going to start with him turning on his family members, turning on his friends, and then he going to look at his neighbor, man. You know, I know this nigga get up at 4 in the morning and head to work. He get back around 6. Or I know they leave at 10 in the morning. They get back. Oh, they work the night shift. I know they going to be gone around 7. So I'm going to go in. I know he normally leave and his wife normally be there by herself with the kids. So that people is going to be plotting, man. You see? And it's going to be because of the lack of bread and for great tribulations. The reality that's played out in society as of right now is going to change. And you're going to have a whole new reality playing out, and the people is going to adapt to that reality. So if this place start reducing in strength and the resources start to dry up, people is going to adapt to violence, man, in order to get those resources back. Doing whatever they can, scratch, claw, fight, and toil to feed their family, or even they self, man. You see, that's why the Lord warned you of perilous times. 2 Timothy 3:1. It says, this know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. You go into the word perilous. It goes back to that root word, which means through the idea of reducing the strength. So it's the Lord that's reducing the strength of America, Babylon the Great. And one way that we see the Lord reducing the strength of this place is the different things that once was driving this place is starting to decline. As far as the monetary system, the petrodollar used to be the main focus. Used to be the heartbeat of the earth, for the lack of better terms, concerning the, money and trading and things like that. But now the petrodollar lost its strength. Now people don't even want to deal with the American dollar, so that's going to cause this economy to go to shit. Along with the food production, you having different store closures. Walmart being a prominent, grocery store here in this society. And now Walmart losing its strength. So that's going to lead these people to going into chaos when they don't have Walmart to provide food for them. You see? So that's the Lord pretty much hitting this place where it hurt. It says through the idea of reducing the strength, it goes back to hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, and savage, in which this is the reality that people is going to have to adapt to, man. And the only people that's going to be kept safe when this shift comes is those who repent, return, and seek the Lord while it's still early. You get into this knowledge, you actually getting to know the Lord for yourself, knowing how to please the Lord, knowing how to do things that's pleasing in his eyes, turning from your wickedness, you see, in order to be kept safe when these evils ultimately come, because they gonna come. He tell you how the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Where's the Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter? So these things is going to happen, and we only seeing it grow. This is why articles like that is coming out, man. You see it because it's the Lord increasing the famine. It's Ezekiel, I believe that's 5 and verse 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction. And I will send to destroy you, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. And the way that the Lord is increasing the famine is causing these Walmarts and different store closures, man. Different pharmacies are shutting down. People, different stores is going bankrupt. You see, and it's because it's the Lord that's increasing the famine, and He's breaking that staff of bread, in which that staff is ultimately a support system, man. You know, oh, let's see, yep, this is for the word staff, Strong's H4294, and the Strong's definition. It says here, a support of life. You see, yeah, it's a support of life. So anything that pretty much contribute to your basic everyday necessities being met, being provided for you, the Lord is going to take it away, and you're going to be left without. You're going to get comfortable with going without things, man. You see, and it's all the works of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because He's increasing this thing. He's increasing the famine and drying up the resources here in America, Babylon the Great. You go into that word bread, Strong's H3899. It says bread, food, grain. You see, meat, loaf, fruit, food, in which these are all the things that's being contaminated. your meat, your fruit, your chicken, your cattle, your cow, your beef, and also your fruit, man. And it's the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that's causing these things to grow. This is why you are to repent and return to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in order to be kept from the famine. But yeah, I pray that you was edified, giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak Wadash, Lord, willing to this video. Shalom.